What's going on? It's time for Sports War. I'm Mike. He's Glenn. How you doing, Len?
I'm absolutely wonderful on this Friday. It was absolutely windy outside. It felt like Chicago. I mean, the Ravens play at the Bears this weekend.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
No, never been to Chicago.
How do you know what it feels like?
They say all the time it's the Windy City.
Glenn.
That's what your hair's like, Mike. It's all wind. It's the Windy City. Yes.
Even Cody has been to Chicago. Our judges, I'm very happy about that. All right. Team Mike, Team Glenn, hashtag it on Twitter to give us each +1 for each person that uses that. You know the deal. Glenn, we are presented by BetUS.com. Code 120Z for 125% first deposit bonus and 200% crypto bonus. You ready to get into it and lose?
Yeah, that's what you think. I'm ready for Team W. Okay, all right, let's get to the first question. I want to hear what you have to say first.
All right, first question is, after the New England Patriots beat the Atlanta Falcons, are the New England Patriots legitimate Super Bowl contenders again? Let me drink this real quick.
Don't do it.
The answer is yes. Absolutely 100%, 1,000,000% yes. This reminds me of the early 2000s Patriots when they had an average quarterback and they had a really fantastic defense. They had a good running game. They find ways to win these games because they shut you down and punch you in the mouth. Like, I'm going to punch Glenn in the mouth on the show today when I beat him down.
Yeah,
they
right,
shut
Johnny.
out the Falcons. And I know the Falcons have scored 3 more points than me and Glenn have in the last 2 weeks, which is completely pathetic considering what's happened in the NFL in the last few years with passing. So somebody's got to give in Atlanta. But the Patriots beat down the Chargers. Oh, Justin, he beat down Justin. No way.
Chargers. It was a close game.
That doesn't matter. They still beat him fair and square.
That is true. That is true.
The fact is, the Patriots, and they definitely took the pants off the Browns, spanked him a couple of times, pulled him back up, pulled him back down, spanked him again. It was disgusting. The Patriots are beating good teams. They're blowing out the bad teams. They're clicking at the exact right time. It's too easy. Oh, they're contenders. It's Bill Belichick. Just give him the Super Bowl. Give him the Lombardi right now.
Mike, you're so wrong on this. And here's some key facts that I have for you. Let's take a look at their 4 losses. Well, 3 of them. They lost to Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. I know he wasn't great, but still it's Tom Brady. And he also lost to, and I know it's Jameis Winston. He wasn't great either. Here's the key thing in all this, Mike.
You keep saying Jameis.
I know. Here's the key thing. The coaches that Bill Belichick has beaten, he is 7-0 against first and second year head coaches. He is 0-4 against the coaches that have 3+ years of experience. Did you see their upcoming schedule? Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, Ryan Tannehill. That's a loss.
What?
Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, and Doug McDermott twice. That's 2 losses. And then the Indianapolis Colts and Carson Wentz and Frank Reich. That's also a loss.
I'll take that.
They will be 7-8. They're going to lose their next 4. I really do.
7-8 or 7-9?
It's 7-8 because they're 7-4 right now. They also have a bye during the stretch.
Okay, you're talking about that.
Yes. So I think the Patriots are going to realize that they're not there just yet. I think Tennessee's above them, obviously. Top 2 team in the league. And
no,
Buffalo,
not without Derrick Henry, they're not.
Oh, really? Then why are they so good defensively and they're 2-0 without Derrick Henry?
Oh, poor Glenn. He's drinking the Kool-Aid of
You
know what's going to happen? They're going to fall off the rails.
And you want to also know why they're not a Super Bowl contender? Because I know Mac Jones is a rookie. Because they don't have the GOAT in Tom Brady. He's a Tampa on Super Bowl
The
Contenders.
GOAT just lost to a 3-6 Washington football team. That's incredible. I know the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Why did he just get beat down by the Washington football team? Beat down and spanked and bamboozled.
You want to know something else, too? You think your buddy LeBron James is greatest of all time, and he does no wrong, and he has, what, 6 NBA Finals losses?
At least he made it.
What?
At least he made it.
Yeah, Tom Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls. Well, you're going to try and discredit this now? Don't give me this double standard nonsense.
Comparing basketball superstars to NFL superstars is a comical thing to do. I got to give you credit for that.
It's
hysterical whenever you bring up LeBron James, who can single-handedly win basketball games, and then he runs into KD, Steph Curry. What are we going to do with all that? Michael Jordan couldn't beat that team, so obviously LeBron can't. Come on now.
I'm just busting. You know how much it hurts me as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, Mike? You know, I know how much it hurts me. You think? I wanted to
shot 40 on your head last night.
Don't remind me about Steph Curry waking up in the fourth quarter. I was disgusted about all that.
That was bad. You guys were killing him. That was bad.
I know.
Next question.
I'm going first with this one. Who wins? The Dallas Cowboys or the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm going to say, how about them Dallas Cowboys?
Shut him up! Get him off my show! Shame on you and shame on everybody who even thinks that. You know what the problem is with the Dallas Cowboys winning this game? Everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid. Here come the Dallas Cowboys, and all of a sudden Glenn Kaplan gets destroyed and cries like Skip Bayless. Shame on you! How about them? How about this L?
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Dallas is going to win this game 30-24, and I would not be surprised if Dallas wins by 10 or more. First of all,
Flag!
For what?
Flag! Come on, Cody.
For what?
I'm throwing a flag on this guy for doubling down that stupid take. Shame on you.
Can you let me finish while I'm taking the Cowboys? Did you see who the Chiefs have beaten recently? Okay, the Jordan Love Green Bay Packers, who they only scored 13 points on. And Green Bay's defense is fantastic. They barely beat Daniel Jones and my New York Giants. And if
now they're Giants again.
Doesn't make a boneheaded play, it's a competitive game against the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, the Las Vegas Raiders are crumbling. So I think Dallas is a lot better than people make them out to be.
That's it?
Yes.
All right, good. I'm glad you're done with that nonsense. And yes, disclaimer, Glenn does not own. He's correct. Okay. The Chiefs are going to win this game, I would say, by 3 or more.
I'm going to sit down and shut him up. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? You said the Chiefs would beat the Bills, they didn't win. You said the Chiefs would beat the Titans and they didn't win. And now what's going to happen with Dallas against Kansas City? How many times do I have to teach you this lesson? You're going to be wrong again about the Cowboys not beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Stop it. The Chiefs defense they are who we thought they were. They're going to be total frauds when they give up 30 points this weekend.
I cannot wait until you and the Cowboys did rushing against the Falcons. Against the Falcons, their leading rusher had 42 yards. 42 yards. I cannot wait until the Cowboys go home and cry on the little donkeys back in Dallas. Oh, we suck so bad. We're not who we thought everyone thinks we are.
Who would you rather have right now, Dak Prescott or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is not.
Are you out of your mind? Dak Prescott is much better than Patrick Mahomes.
How? In what universe?
In what universe? Mahomes leads the league in turnovers. Prescott doesn't.
That leads the league in being average at best.
Dallas is average? They're a Super Bowl threat.
Yes, shave them off like the shaving cream I'm about to use. Shave all the points away from Glenn. Yes.
My goodness.
Let's go to commercial. Oh, that's right. We don't have commercials because I'm going to beat him down even more. Next question. Actually, let's get Cody on the screen here. Cody.
What's up? I turned my. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I can. Holy cow! How'd that work out? It's pretty good.
Impressive.
He says, "Oh, I know." What's up, Cody? First question we asked was, "Are the Patriots Super Bowl contenders?" What is your take on that?
I think so. I don't think it's crazy.
Let's go!
The way Mac Jones is playing, you've got one of the best coaches of all time. You know, you've just got that playoff advantage in New England where the weather kind of helps them a little bit. So if you get home field, you've got a little bit of an edge up. And again, I'm just rooting for a Pats and Bucs Super Bowl. I'm all here for it.
Oh my God! No.
Oh yeah! Let's get a rematch, baby.
Also, do you think Dallas has a chance against Kansas City this weekend? But again, I'm not that high on Prescott. I think he's good. And I think Kansas City has a chance where it's a make or break game where, yeah, they've had some slumps, but doesn't every great team go through the ups and downs?
Every great team. Yes, you're right.
That's something that happens. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a 35-year-old veteran here. He's not going to be perfect every game like Tom Brady, but I will stay. I still like Kansas City.
Yes. On my side and into the light, Cody Jensen, baby. Yes. 2-0, baby.
That's cool.
I love our judges, man. It's 4-2. The series was over in 6. What can I say?
Don't do this,
back to it. Question number 3.
All right. Which NFL team is not currently in a playoff spot will be there by the time? Oh God, you stinking writing questions. Anyways, the NFL team that is not currently in a playoff spot. This is actually a tough one because I'm trying to think of the teams that aren't. Are the Patriots in a playoff spot, Glenn?
They are.
There give me some teams that aren't because I'm thinking of the teams that I think even the Panthers would make the playoffs, right?
Panthers are a 7 seed right now.
Then you go first.
Okay. My answer is they're number 8 right now in the AFC, and I think they're about to be geared up for a run. Cincinnati Bengals.
Whoa.
Let's take a look at the AFC North. I think the Cleveland Browns are trending downwards. They don't know what the deal with Baker Mayfield is, okay? I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I don't like that defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's first thing. Second thing, I don't like the Steelers' offense. They have too many injuries, and Ben Roethlisberger's way past his prime. And you look at the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he's great, but their defense has been shaky. The Bengals had a perfect bye week after losing the Jets and getting their wheels blown off against the Browns. Joe Burrow is going to rally the troops, and I think they're going to get a wild card spot or maybe even win the division. They're 5-4. They're what? They have the tiebreak over the Baltimore Ravens. If the Bengals win this week and the Ravens lose, Bengals potentially back in first. If you think about it, and I like the Bengals schedule coming up. That they control their own destiny. They're 2-1 in the AFC North. So, and that team's got some game breakers with Jamar Chase. So I like Cincinnati a lot in that division to get in the playoffs.
The Indianapolis Colts. Because
that's a good one too.
As the Tennessee Titans fall off the rails and their train wrecks the season, and they realize that Ryan Tannehill is who he thought he was, an average quarterback. That's right.
Wait, Mike, can I tell you this? They're not going to win the division. But here's the thing. I'll give you 2 quick things. Number 1, their schedule is extremely tough, but I think they could do it. Number 2, there'll be a wild card because I think they're better on paper than the Chargers.
Glenn, I think the Colts have a very good chance to win the division.
No, they don't!
Yes,
what kind of drugs are you on? No, they don't! The Titans have the easiest schedule. Did you look at the Colts schedule?
Eclipse gum. I'm all kind of stuff over here. The fact is, the Indianapolis Colts are in a way easier division. Way easier division. We ain't gonna go through
What
the
is
Browns.
it? They don't have a tiebreaker against the Titans. Are you on drugs? What is your problem?
The Tennessee Tits. That's all they are. Overrated.
Oh my God.
Yes. Ha ha. I deserve a FaceTime. Yes. Woo! I love it. Cody, am I on drugs?
I do not know. I can't confirm or deny. I'm not a doctor.
Wow. Thank you, Judge. I'm down to 4-3. This became a 7-game series really quickly.
Dr. Glenn Kaplan hopped in quickly with the drugs comment.
Yes. Shame on you. Other teams, Glenn, how about a better question? Do you think the Browns, do you trust the Browns? Do you trust I think 49ers could be a dark horse in the NFC.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. They got a favorable schedule.
Fair point. Glenn, let's move on to question number 4. We're kind of firing through, but I don't think anybody cares. Let's go to question number 4. Ooh, NFL upset special. Glenn, go first on this one for me.
Chicago Bears over Baltimore Ravens 20-17. That's my upset special of the week. See how Justin Fields played against the Steelers in that fourth quarter before the bye week? The Ravens defense, as I just mentioned, is a complete shambles right now. He's going to let it rip through the wind this weekend in Chicago against a banged-up Baltimore Ravens secondary. Plus, I think the Bears defense can get after Lamar Jackson.
Did you say rip through the wind?
Yes.
That's disgusting, Glenn. Fart joke, -1.
What?
Yes!
No! Stop! That's catering to the producer!
Ripping through the wind? Come on!
Like ripping the ball through the wind.
Give me a better line than that, you nasty thing.
Oh, God.
Go on, keep going. You finish your point.
Yeah, my point was that the Ravens secondary's banged up. Justin Fields, I think, could torch this Ravens secondary. And I think Lamar Jackson, the Bears might try to use a similar game plan with the Dolphins, like what the Dolphins did.
All right,
defensively.
all right. That's enough of that garbage, whatever. Who cares about Bears and Ravens? Because it ain't going to happen anyways. What is going to happen is the team that currently on BetUS.com with the code 120Z for 125%. What? Deposit bonus. Here's the deal. Did you know, Glenn, the Carolina Panthers are 3.5-point favorites against the Washington football team in the plus money?
I did not see that.
Oh, yes. The plus money on this one is plus 150 if you pick the correct answer here. As in, Sham Cam Newton will be exposed and ripped down naked.
Are you kidding me?
He is terrible. The Washington football team just beat the brakes off the GOAT. The GOAT made him look like a goat.
My God.
I'll put it that way. And then Taylor Heineke is going to drink his way all the way through Carolina. Yes, that's a good line. I think Washington football team wins the game. I think Ron Rivera realizes Cam Newton sucks. He sucks.
Mike, I cannot believe the words I heard out of your mouth right now. You know who's going to love you with that comment? Fans of the Washington football team in Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Southern Maryland. They're going to love you for that comment because what you said was outrageous. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers will beat the brakes off the Washington football team. Nice try. Nice try.
I had to drink more alcohol. Here's what I don't get about you. How in the world, the only good thing about this is if Christian McCaffrey goes off, because he is getting healthy. So I actually have
Washington's defense is garbage. They're not going to stop him.
I have 2 upset specials now. You ready for it? Also on BetUS.com. This team is plus 270 right now, and they're 7-point underdogs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colts will beat the Bills. It happens, baby.
Stop it! Stop it! What is wrong with you?
Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over him. Carson Wentz is going to do just enough, and Josh Allen will look like the quarterback we thought he was out of, Wyoming? Yes.
The Buffalo Bills have the #1 ranked defense in football.
You know what these are? Their specs. Hot Rod Rodrigo Blankenship is going to kick a field goal through the wind of Buffalo.
Goodbye, Mark. Is he back? I thought he was hurt.
I don't care. We're gonna win it somehow.
No, you ain't. You know what's gonna happen, Mike?
What?
You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose to them, just like you did last year in the AFC wildcard round. You're gonna lose on a 4th down throw by Carson Wentz, and it's intercepted by Jordan Poyer, and he takes it the other way for a touchdown. And Carson Wentz once again makes a boneheaded play.
Boneheaded?
Yes, that's what Carson Wentz does.
Yes. Let's say Carson Wentz makes a couple of bad plays. You who's going to come and save the day? Sam Ellinger. Who's been
Boy, now you want to bench Carson Wentz? I want to throw this out of the stretch right now. Giving yourself the Colts fan that you are. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Oh, wow. Yes. Whoa! That's 2 timeouts in one show for the first time in sports war history. Yes! I love this show. Oh, that's enough FaceTime for me. 2 timeouts in one. You can't beat it, Glenn. I guess now that means you have another timeout, huh?
I don't understand you, Carvallis.
Carvallis? Who is this Karvalis guy you speak of? Look at my name. Karvelis. Come on now. Carvallis, get off my show.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Did Mel Tucker get too much money from Michigan State? You're going first.
No. You know why? Because old people... What? You know why? Because people need to understand that Mel Tucker is... Well, Glenn looks so good as a loser on that side of the field. Look at him. Look, he's on the sideline getting benched in the first quarter. Aha! Good. I like this. I'm on top of him now. All right. Michigan State, here's the thing. It's a good hire. And I feel like, there's a coaching market just like there's a players market. Now, granted, the coaching market does not move as much, but college football guys get paid out the wazoo all the time. UTSA is paid a boatload of money in order for their coach to stay there. So, I think it's just the right amount. Michigan State was willing to pay for this guy, so that's what happens. Glenn, your thoughts?
My thoughts are it wasn't a mistake to pay him all this money, and here's why. What is the most important thing about college football? Recruiting. It's about what kind of recruits you can get. In order to compete with the Michigans of the world and the Ohio States and the Penn States of the world, you have to set a foundation for a very long time to see what kind of vision you want, what kind of recruits you want to get in. And that's all it's about in college football. Getting the best recruits you can and what kind of winning product you can on the field. Because of this Michigan State winning season, because they beat Michigan, you'd be like, hey, I don't want to go to Michigan. I want to go to what Mel Tucker's doing. I want to buy into what he's doing. And what if they beat Ohio State tomorrow? That's another recruiting advantage for Mel Tucker. What if they get into college football playoff? Like, hey, we're in the college football playoff. That's going to want to sell things into this Mel Tucker Michigan State program. So I do like it that he did not get too much money with this program.
Going forward, this game, I don't know if this is on the docket. Let me check this before I make sure.
Mike, I need to hold on for a second, only because I have this thing at full volume on my phone and I could barely hear it. Cody, is there a sound issue anywhere?
Not on my end. Sounds good on my end.
Okay, keep going.
Just you and your vertical phone.
-1. All right. So, Glenn, I have a question for you. Michigan State against Ohio State this weekend. I'm surprised you didn't put this in there. Do you think Ohio State wins by more than 19 points? Are you gonna cry?
I said no. I was surprised how Ohio State beat the Rockers off of Purdue last weekend.
I wasn't surprised. Ohio State's hitting. I think Ohio State is close. they're the team I think could contend with Georgia. I think Ohio State's the best team compared that's going to be there with Georgia. I think Alabama is we're gonna find out who we think they are. I think C.J. Stroud, Trevion Henderson, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson are just a monster unit. They can do anything defensively. They're going to be right there with Georgia in the end. I think Mel Tucker's going to get a rude awakening this weekend. I don't know if I'd lay the points there, but I definitely go with Michigan State to I definitely go with Ohio State to win the game big time.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question about Ohio State?
Yeah.
Do you think C.J. Stroud is a gap stop for when Quinn Ewers is ready?
Not from the looks of it, no. He threw like 5 touchdowns against Purdue. Do they have like some higher big time recruit back there?
Yes, that's why I asked that question.
Who knows? Maybe, but for now, he's doing a very good job. Maybe Ryan Day shows up and puts what was the guy's name?
Quinn Ewers.
Okay, yeah, maybe he shows up in the national title game randomly. That'd be crazy.
No, he's not ready. He's not ready. I'm talking about like next year.
Then why'd you bring him up? Come on.
I said stopgap for next year. I said stopgap.
That's a pretty good. I mean, C.J. Stroud's a pretty good stopgap. He's a Heisman favorite right now. I mean, come on now. Or Heisman candidate. Come on.
Mike, also one other thing. Do you think this is the year that Michigan finally beats Ohio State? Because for some gut feeling, I feel that.
You felt that. I don't think that. I feel like Ohio State, to me, it'd be one thing if Ohio State had played bad since they played Oregon. Ever since they played Oregon, it was like, oh, we woke up and we're beating the brakes off teams. Did they allow 31 against Purdue? Yeah, but they also scored like 59. Like they have too much offense. Michigan, they have to have a number one defense, and to me, their defense is not good enough. It's good. It's not good enough. You have to score with Ohio State. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Next question here.
All right.
Wait. Let's actually ask Cody since we got time here. Cody, last couple of questions. I haven't heard your takes. So, which NFL team that's not currently in a playoff spot will be in there by the time the end of the season rolls around?
Jeez, that's a tough one. It's so tough to, and I'm a big weather guy, so I always think about like how the season's going to progress as it goes along, but. For a team, like, can we pick someone who's in a wild card spot right now? Like, I'd probably go with the Steelers. They're in a wild card spot, right?
Yeah, they are. They're not in the playoffs, but you're right. Like, I believe they are the 6th seed right now if it ended.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, you could pick a team like that out of the AFC. NFC, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too bullish on the Rams. I think the Rams just keep adding on more problems, and I honestly think they could just have an epic collapse. I can't stand the Rams.
Cody had to get that off his chest. Glenn, stop falling asleep. You're killing me. Other teams to consider, you got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are, I think Nick Sirianni's done a great job in Philadelphia. No offense to Glenn and his NFC East fandom there. Philadelphia's weather could get bad. Seattle's 3-6. Russell Wilson's going to be coming back. I don't know if they're good enough. Probably not. Denver Broncos are quietly 5-5. And right there, what if I told you, Cody and Glenn, I didn't realize this. Apparently, the Broncos have the same record as the Colts and the Browns. That's wild to me.
I don't think Denver's gonna make it. I think they're as I said, I think they're the 4th best team in that division. I don't think the Broncos are that good. I don't.
Well, hey, Chargers better beat down the Steelers this weekend then.
I know they play each other next weekend.
The Steelers
because if the Chargers don't beat the Steelers or the Broncos, the wheels are going to start falling off.
What do you say, Cody?
The Steelers tied the Lions. They suck. They shouldn't have beat the Bears. They got lucky.
That is true. The Bears really, if they didn't get penalized, especially late, I think Bears might win the Steelers game.
Also, I got an upset that you guys didn't mention: Minnesota over Green Bay. I mean, The Packers are frauds. And this is a game that keeps Minnesota fans alive. They're the worst fans in all of sports because they get disappointed every single year. But this is a win that would put them up to 500. They would think that they have some life left in this season, and then they get crushed in the final few weeks.
Dang. So you think Green Bay's going to get
Cody, that's interesting. You took the Vikings over the Packers. Makes sense because the Packers are on the road. But you don't know which Minnesota team you're going to get week in and week out. You either get a good team or you get a bad team.
Neither do the Packers. So how do you prepare for it?
Glenn, Kirk Cousins has more touchdowns and less interceptions than Aaron Rodgers this year.
Boom.
I did not know that. That is very interesting.
18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Kirk Cousins. And although Aaron Rodgers has played one less game, he's got 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
It's
a wild stat.
Also, Mel Tucker definitely got too much money at Michigan State. I mean, come on, they're always going to be the little sister to the Wolverines in Michigan. I mean, they're just nothing. It's Michigan State. You win one big game in 10 years, and all of a sudden they think that they're a playoff contender. Now they're going to get rolled by Ohio State this weekend. I don't hate them plus 19 because, I mean, that's still 2.5 touchdowns. That's fine. It's Michigan State, though. No one cares about them. Football's irrelevant there. Their hockey team sucks. Their basketball team's overrated every year. They're not Michigan. They're not the real Michigan.
One thing about me, though, Cody, is that I've noticed in my lifetime, I noticed that you and Aaron, because Cody, how old are you? You're not 30 yet. You're like a little bit older than me.
Yeah. Okay,
so like, here's the thing with that. It seems like I watched college football at the right time for Michigan State because all I remember is Mark D'Antonio. I mean, he always kept Michigan State at least competitive. I mean, they weren't terrible with that guy. They just weren't Big Ten elites. But I guess with a contract like this, you're saying we're all into this guy. And Aaron on the AM Drive yesterday said, I don't know if he's going to play out for 10 years. I think college coaches are much more prone to play out 10 years than an NFL guy would be. I feel like if they like their guy winning 8 games a year, take him.
Well, your job security is a lot more in college. You know, it's a shorter season. There's less expectations and there's less fan pressure, right? Because it's students who are the fans, not diehards who are paying $300-400 a ticket. So you've got a totally different job security look at it where why did Urban Meyer stay so long in college when he could have gone to the NFL earlier if he really wanted? But it's that job security. You don't have to move your family. You don't have to worry about getting canned mid-season, and you don't have to worry about the extra pressure of professional football. So for Mel Tucker, it totally makes sense. But also if Michigan State doesn't hand out that big ticket to him, he's going to go somewhere else and get it. He can go to, after this season where they did pick up a big win over Michigan, who knows? Maybe they pull off a miracle and find their way into the playoffs this year, or at least a big bowl game and win a bowl game. Then he's going to have his choice. He can go coach in California, get out of Michigan. Who would want to be there? And if you can be in California, making how many mil a year?
Cody, I want to ask Cody one question. Cody, how many teams do you think should be in the college football playoff?
64? Is that an option?
What?
I want to see the playoffs expanded. It's so stupid that it's 4. Like,
I have 2 questions that I think we'll piggyback this because I think these are good questions for that moment. Number 1 is, do you think 12 has to be an option? Because I'll put it this way.
No, 12 is stupid.
You think 12 is stupid?
Yeah, either go with 16 or 8 or 32.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you why 16 would be a good number then. And Glenn, you might like this too. Because not only is 4 way too little, think about those top 25 matchups. Like we had like Ole Miss versus, I think, whoever it was last week, like it's Auburn or whatever. It was a top 25. Yeah, it was a top 25 matchup against A&M, and no one gave a crap besides those 2 schools because there was no playoff implications. There was some crappy bowl game, maybe a New Year's 6 that no one's going to watch. Cody, do you think 16 teams would make that way better?
I think 32 would make it even better, Mike, because you mentioned that they're not meaningful games. What makes it meaningful? It's an elimination on the line. It's a must-win game. It's an extra pressure. I don't care if it's Alabama taking on Mississippi State. Now you've got the pressure. Even though Alabama could win by 30 points, they can also have one shitty game and all of a sudden, they're done in the playoffs in the round of 32. Why do we not want those big games? Why does college football shy away from big spotlights, eliminations? I get it. It's a money thing and it comes down to the playoffs. But also, I think you're going to draw a larger audience if you've got actual playoff games that people want to tune into because something's on the line, not a Week 12 game between Ole Miss and Texas A&M that no one gives a damn about.
And Cody, I'll put this
last thing. What I wanted to say because the FCS Division I, the FCS and the FCS, they do 24 teams, and no one else plays other than those 24, and there's no bowl games.
Yeah, and here's my thing with the 32 to piggyback Cody's. I don't know if I go 16. You're right about like Alabama, Mississippi State. My only drawback to that is shorten the season to like 9 games or 10 games. Here's why I say that.
100%.
Number one, the safety issue is thrown out the freaking window. Like, no one cares. If you're playing 2 or 3 less games, no one is going to care about safety because at least now you have those 3 less games. Glenn, come on, dude. And think about this. Now we don't have to watch. You know who Georgia plays this weekend? Tell me, Glenn, do you know who Georgia plays this weekend?
No, I do not.
It's so bad you can't even bet on it. It's Charleston freaking Southern.
That's money for Charleston Southern to get.
I don't give a crap. That should not be a thing. You're either FBS or you're not. There is no in between. This giving money to a school so we can beat the snot out of them is bull crap. Like, if you had 32 teams, you could get rid of Georgia. I think Georgia might win 84-0. That's going to make their season stats look better, and it should absolutely not. And I'm a Georgia fan.
Glenn, I'll pose this to you since you say it's a money thing. Why not let a top 50 school still, like a Florida State or something, then take on those stupid, Alabama School of Symphonies and Citadels and give them money? Like they still have money to pay for those teams, but you don't need your top 25 teams playing those absolute trash schools. There's no point. Maybe week 1, maybe let them get their feet wet. Maybe get a Washington, Montana upset in week 1 or week 2. But after that, I mean, until the schedules change, college football still becomes irrelevant mid-season because of games like this, where it's absolutely meaningless and it's just fluff filler.
He's right.
I know.
So, Glenn, here's the thing about this Charleston Southern.
Well, last thing, because we got to get to 6 and 7.
No, we don't. We have plenty of time for that.
All right.
My thing is that, like, because I have another question as well. It's about women's basketball, actually.
Yes.
When you look at like those, okay, you just forget. Glenn made me lose my train of thought. As for the women's basketball, have you guys seen? There is now 68 teams instead of 64 teams in women's college basketball.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that's a bit too much, Cody.
No, it's not. It's like the men's.
Yeah, you got to do the same as the men's. It's
2020. The men's
68.
Oh, screw it! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you've got the play-in games, right?
Yeah, but I thought, like, are these even playing games, or are they just actually 68 teams?
I don't know.
So what happens, Mike? If you knew how the NCAA tournament process works, conference tournament winners automatically get it. It's like 30, 31, 32 of them, and then you have the at-large teams. There's 33 to 36 of them. So,
yeah, I think the problem with this college football playoff thing, one last thing, is that I just think it's annoying when Georgia plays Charleston Southern in like week 10. It makes
like you can't tell me that a round of 32 where you would watch Georgia, you'd watch Michigan State take on UTSA, an undefeated UTSA.
I completely agree.
Like we would watch those games. 100% you'd be glued in. You're not going to watch Texas A&M beat the brakes off of Montana Tech. No one cares about that.
You said Alabama School of Symphony. Okay, question 6. I'm sorry. That was great filler. That went a lot better than I thought. Glenn, does Klay Thompson make the Golden State Warriors unbeatable in the NBA?
No, and I'm going to tell you why. And I know you said this on your AM drive yesterday that you think you do. I know how you said it's more about like mechanical with Klay Thompson, but you have to understand about something with Klay Thompson. It's not one. It's 2 major injuries, a torn Achilles and a torn ACL. And I know he's participating on 5-on-5 drills, but he might be shooting flat-footed all the time. If you can't like accelerate your body from the lower body, because I've done this in basketball a lot of times. You're gonna be airball a lot of shots. Now, I don't think that's Klay Thompson's nature, but you also want to know why Golden State's not unbeatable. Did you know that the Phoenix Suns are 11-3 despite Golden State being 13-2? I don't know if you knew that or not.
That's a quiet 11-3.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The Phoenix Suns were just in the NBA Finals. They have everyone back. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. They got everyone back. Jay Crowder, and it goes on and on.
So I think the question here about unbeatable, obviously not. And to Cody's point, by the way, let's say there was 26 teams, because of what the playoff teams are looking at here. How about Purdue against Georgia? That would be a good game to watch. Just as a thought. But no, as for this Klay Thompson question, Glenn, I'm going to take it one step further. If they have James Wiseman, they might be unbeatable. But since you brought up the Klay Thompson, because on my show, I want to be clear on the AM Drive. Thank you for watching that, Glenn, by the way.
You're welcome.
On the AM Drive, which airs Monday through Friday, me and Aaron talked about Klay Thompson's going back to 5-on-5 drills. And I said, compared to a Kobe or Dwayne Wade, I think that Klay Thompson is more of a specialty / form guy. I think that he relies on this way more than this, right?
Yes.
He relies on
he's more about the fundamentals.
The purity, yes. That's why I think, although there's 2 major injuries, and giving his work ethic, I do believe Klay Thompson will be fine. Maybe not. Maybe defensively, you might have a thought there, because his defense is probably a good 40% of his game. He's amazing when he drops 40 in a quarter, but let's be real, he doesn't do that every single game.
Right. He's very streaky.
Right. Yeah, he can be streaky. Now, he's a lot better streaky than other guys who are like J.R. Smith, but you're right. He's a streaky three. He gets hot.
Don't come with me on J.R. Smith.
No, I know you're a Cavaliers fan. I'm still so sorry for last night. That was awful.
Nah, it's okay.
But I think Klay Thompson relies on form. He'll be fine, but I think the biggest thing is defensively. As for unbeatable, have we forgot LeBron James has not even come back?
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Glenn, for people writing this guy off, you know why they're writing LeBron off? He's been injured. They're calling him washed because is Klay Thompson washed? Is Klay Thompson washed?
He could be. I think he could be.
We don't know. How do you know that unless they come back and play?
I agree, but he could be.
These aren't guys that have had injuries for years and years and years. They've had a couple bad breaks, and that happens in sports. LeBron is going to make it mesh with Russ. Russ is going to be playing way smarter when LeBron comes back. I promise you.
Russ is going to be playing way smarter. Here's the thing about Russell Westbrook. They're going to ask Russell Westbrook to shoot threes. He can't shoot threes. He needs to have the ball in your hands at the all times. I don't know if it's really going to work that much. I don't.
And you have Ray Ellington, Malik Monk. Those guys are good. They can be good players. People write this team off. AD is much better with LeBron because AD is you talk about inconsistent.
How did the other night against Giannis Antetokounmpo? Huh?
Where was LeBron? Where was LeBron?
They wanted to beat him even if LeBron was there. Stop it.
That doesn't count. 47.
Oh, it doesn't count. Every win is a win in the NBA, please.
You are literally attacking one guy the entire night. LeBron matters. AD knows they're going to lose that game. Giannis, I'm glad he bitched.
But wait a minute.
I'm glad he did.
But wait a minute. If AD is the special player that he's supposed to be, Mike, then why does he need LeBron? Answer that for me.
You're not listening. Yes, LeBron matters. I want to know why you think because Giannis beat a team without LeBron that matters. It doesn't matter. LeBron, this is not the Lakers. The Lakers are LeBron, then AD, then Russ. You can't just say, well, AD played with the Pelicans. I don't care. I don't care. Stephen A. Smith now calls him no longer a top 5 player.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Wait. Did Stephen A. Smith call LeBron not a top 5 player or Anthony Davis?
He called AD no longer a top 5 player. That's close, but he may be right. But even then, you have to take into consideration LeBron James. For Klay, the Warriors look fancy right now. And Steph Curry, to me, I keep saying it, I've been one of the first ones to say this. I used to not care. I used to like this guy. I never loved him. I'm on borderline loving Steph Curry. I really believe he is the smartest he's ever been. And yeah, that happens when you get older. But he's very disciplined now. He doesn't just take threes for the hell of it anymore.
He ages like fine wine, Mike.
Yes, he's incredible. He has gotten so much smarter in passing the ball. He's no longer the careless Steph. He's a smart Steph, and that's a bad problem. Are they unbeatable? No. The problem here is, which teams can they beat? I don't know if they can get past the Lakers or the Suns.
Suns more than Lakers. I think the Suns pose a bigger problem than the Lakers.
Possibly. But we still have to see LeBron. I still want to see the Lakers. Give me a month from now when LeBron is back fully and they've got it. Give me a month or two from now. Then we can talk about this again. I promise you.
I don't know if you know this, but Suns and Warriors is Christmas Day.
That's going to be fun. All right, Glenn. I'm going to let you go here first. And Cody, you do have a bonus question, correct, after this?
I added like 3 more questions that I want to hear you guys argue about. So you guys just get through these topics.
Glenn, who was the biggest disappointment so far in the NHL?
The biggest disappointment is the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I was watching the Pittsburgh Penguins Montreal Canadiens last night on NHL Center Ice, and I thought the Pittsburgh Penguins were a disappointment. But this Montreal Canadiens team looked completely and utterly lifeless. This team is what? 4-13-2 with 10 points. They're just a point or two ahead of the Ottawa Senators, a team that went to the Stanley Cup final last year and lost to Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. And we wish Carey Price nothing but the best what he's going through right now with all the mental health. Props to him for all the people that are struggling out there with mental health. But anyhow, back onto the ice, this is just completely and utterly lifeless by the Montreal Canadiens. A team a lot of people thought they should have made it potentially back to the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. I actually said the Montreal Canadiens before the year started was going to take a monster step backwards, and they definitely have. What do you say?
This might be because I'm a new NHL fan, but Glenn, the Seattle Kraken.
Of course you were going to say that.
But here's why I'm saying this. We can be good. The Kraken can be a good hockey team. I've been watching a couple of teams. I watched a couple of games last night, actually. I didn't see the end of the Oilers game. I don't know if I think they ended up pulling that
Oilers won. You see that 6 goal by Connor McDavid?
And I also saw World Hockey Report's tweet. That was pretty cool with the picture there. My thing is with this, our goaltending is so pathetic. I mean, Seattle, the one problem people had going into the season was not just they didn't have a lot of big names. They're going to be their goaltending. And God forbid, the Kraken do not just give up, points and they don't just give up 1 or 2. They will go up 2-0 and give up 4 goals consecutively. It's unreal what they do. I don't understand. Grubauer is the veteran goalie, and he sucks.
There's a reason why the Colorado Avalanche got rid of him and traded for Darcy Kuemper. There's a reason why they did that.
I know, but according to Aaron, he was a good goalie last year. You can't just say
time out. Glenn, you made such a good point of that's why Colorado leaves him. And then you mispronounced Kuemper. How do you do this, Glenn? I'm about to give you a point and I can't.
What did he say?
He called him Kuemper instead of Kuemper.
Just like Jameis Winston.
I can't give you a point, Glenn.
Come on, Glenn. Don't do that. I'm ready for some bonus questions.
All right, let's get to it. We got 10 minutes left.
Who is the best?
This is a great question. This is a great question.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yes, fool, you.
Oh, this is a great question.
Right.
The best wide receiver right now in the NFL, Devontae Adams of the Green Bay Packers.
I disagree.
Do you watch his release every single week on the line? You know when they press coverage, they press him up, and then he does a release, like basically like a swim move, and he just creates 3 to 4, 5 feet of separation and just catches everything in his sleep. Well, how do they have Aaron Rodgers throwing the football to you, but this guy doesn't miss anything, and he's also a tremendous blocker in the running game because they have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So I love Davante Adams as a top receiver in the NFL.
I completely disagree. I love the Packers with what Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams do. But Davante Adams is not Davante Adams without Aaron Rodgers. Let's be completely clear.
Okay.
The best receiver in the NFL, I want to first give credit to A.J. Brown. I'm not calling him that. I'm just saying A.J. Brown recently came out with for mental health. And he's not saying he was going to take games off, but Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown said he was very happy he came forward because he wanted to kill himself last year. And that was huge. So I want to give him credit. Now, my best receiver is the guy who suddenly, when he joins the Cardinals, they become world beaters. DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins did well with, I think, Tom Savage of the Texans. This guy has done well with every single quarterback, and suddenly Kyler Murray no longer has any haters. It's amazing. DeAndre Hopkins not only plays amazing with any quarterback, he makes that said quarterback look better. It's insane. He's not the flashiest Odell Beckham from years ago. He's not Davante Adams with 15 catches a game. He's just DeAndre Hopkins. He's so reliable. So reliable. Gotta give him that. Should the NFL return to St. Louis? They're considering expansion, Glenn. I don't like it. I don't like St. Louis. I just feel like St. Louis, I never felt like there was anything special with the Rams when they were in St. Louis. But I know it's LA, and of course a lot of cities. If you move the Colts to LA right now, they would probably get more notoriety than they do. But LA has shown that St. Louis is an afterthought. They're like Milwaukee Bucks. We love the Bucks, but Giannis is stuck in Milwaukee. They're not the historic Packers. They're just the Bucks. The St. Louis, I don't like it. I don't. Glenn, what is your take on this?
Well, I to an extent I agree with you about this whole take with should the NFL return to St. Louis and know about it being an afterthought. But I felt like the fans, in all honesty, with them packing up and moving to Los Angeles was just like, hey, St. Louis basically told them the middle finger, go take a hike. I don't think it was right. At the end of the day, the NFL is a business and a moneymaker first and foremost. That's why they moved out of St. Louis, Mike. It's all about money. I can't understand why, for the life of me, when Los Angeles, here's the thing about Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the biggest fair weather sports fans there are in this country. True. And it's not even close. At SoFi Stadium, there's going to be a lot more road team fans there than there are going to be home team fans there. Let's just think about that. They love their team in St. Louis.
That is true.
Just like they love the St. Louis Blues and the St. Louis Cardinals.
They're more passionate for sure. And I will give you 2 cities I think are better than St. Louis.
Who are they?
San Antonio. I don't know if you saw when the San Antonio, I think, whenever not the XFL, I think it was the AFL or whatever they were called. The AAF, the Alliance of American Football. The San Antonio team was bonkers. I was like, I knew the Spurs fans were good, but San Antonio, I don't know if I want another team in Texas. I would say that would be a team to put in Texas. San Antonio. Holy cow. I was very, very impressed. Weren't
the Raiders rumored once upon a time for San Antonio?
Yeah, but Vegas. I think Oakland needs another team as well. I think Oakland deserves it.
Mike, Oakland was a different issue than St. Louis. I think it was stadium and negotiating rights issue with the city more than a fan issue.
But one more thing. Birmingham, Alabama. Home of the Iron, okay? Birmingham. How many good prospects do we know that come from Alabama? A lot. It's either Georgia, Florida, Alabama, California, and somewhere in New Jersey or Philadelphia. You literally, can you imagine the rivalry?
Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, but can you imagine the rivalry the Saints would have? It's to be like LSU and Alabama, except in the NFL. Birmingham has, those guys are crazy. But they're not. They're a bunch of good old Southern rednecks. It's incredible. But I think Birmingham would be an incredible spot from football. All right, Glenn, top 5 college football teams. You want me to go first or you?
I will go first.
Right.
Number 1's Georgia.
All right.
Number 2, Cincinnati.
Good.
Number 3, Alabama. Number 4, Oregon. Number 5, Ohio State. That's what I would have.
I disagree.
Okay.
Number 1, I've got Georgia. You're right about that. Number 2, I will give it to Ohio State. They played way better since the Oregon game. Number 3, Cincinnati, undefeated. Number 4, I will give it to Michigan.
Over Alabama?
Yes! And
no, you're not! Are you crazy? Alabama's better than Michigan! I
have not finished. Number 5 is undefeated, disrespected University of Texas, San Antonio. Give me the road runners.
Mike, are you out of your mind?
Yes.
Mike, you don't even have Alabama in your top 5. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sorry. The law.
Yes. What? Let's go. Let's go.
Cody, UTSA was for you, bro.
I loved it. I loved the UTSA pick, but Ohio State was too high. Ohio State lost against Oregon, and Oregon sucks. They play in the biggest fraud conference ever.
Yeah, he said Oregon. I didn't say Oregon. He said Oregon.
No, you put Ohio State up top, and they lost to Oregon.
In week 2.
I put Oregon ahead of Ohio State.
In week 2. Wow. What was the final score?
14-13.
Boo! Wow. I literally put you. Shame on you, Cody. You
I like the UTSA pick. I don't like the others. Also, Alabama should probably be number 2. Let's be real.
Let's not be real. How are they number 2? Dude, how do you lose to A&M and give it to be number 2? The 3 lost A&M?
I just wanted to piss off Mike with that one.
I know. Shame on you, Cody.
Okay,
Shame
great war, guys. Great war, guys.
Great job.
Great battle, great war. Glenn loses again.
I won! Scoreboard!